Hello. I can see 19 people in the room. I'm going to quickly call out the names of the people that I can see. Hello, Akash Saha, Amit Gupta, Ashish Mase, Dhwani, Dimple, showing twice. Jyoti Sharma, Madhulika Gaur, Maneet Sivach, Mike Datta, Nitin, Pranav Shekhar, Priyanka Chaudhary, Ranjana Singh, Sumit Kant Kaul, Vishwajit Joshi. There are two people whose names are not visible. So if I did not call out your name, please go into settings and put in your name and we'll get started. Can all of you hear me clearly? Is my screen visible? Okay, great. Thank you. I hope you all had a really good weekend. Today's session is going to be a lot of fun because today is a live demonstration of MailChimp and a quick run through of the rules for those of you who may have missed them the first time round. The tech support number is on the top right hand corner of every slide. So if you find you can't hear me or if there's a lag, any of those things, usually the common problem is when suddenly people find they can't hear me. That's usually because of some kind of connectivity issue at your end. You can call the tech support number and they will help you sort the problem out. Any questions that come up, do hold on to them. I will address them at the end of the session in the Q&A session. So I'm going to target finishing by 9:15, including the recap. At 9:15, we'll start the Q&A session, the interactive session. So you can bring up any questions or doubts you have at that time. Also, if you want me to repeat any of the steps or any of the slides, I'm happy to do that then again. But I'll address questions only at the end. Okay. For today's session, especially, there are certain actions I'll ask you to take, and it'll be great for you if you also participate. This class will be a lot better. Plus, you will understand MailChimp a lot better if you participate, go along with what I ask you to do. Okay. To keep it simple, the first thing I'm going to ask all of you to do is shut all the programs that you have running currently, other than your browser and your GoToMeeting window. So if you want to take 10 seconds to do that, can all of you do that? Okay, excellent, great. Okay, so I'm going to go right ahead and get started. This is session 5. We've already covered deliverability in the first week. Last week, we looked at how to design a really good email, professional email that can achieve the kind of things you want a marketing email to achieve. I hope all of you have gotten started on the assignment and or are also going through the notes and the videos. By now, you also know how to design a what are the things that go into designing a really, really good professional looking email. Today, I'll show you how to do those things on MailChimp. MailChimp is the world's most popular email service provider. There are several other similar tools available, but if you understand the key features of MailChimp, you should be able to do whatever you need to on those platforms equally well. MailChimp, all of them have these in common. MailChimp is really considered the best of all of them. So if you understand MailChimp, I think you'll find it very easy to pick up any of the others as well. MailChimp has a free account and it has a paid account. What I'm going to show you today is the free account features, and you'll see there's a lot possible even with the free account. If you want bigger, better features, then you could always pay for a paid account, and you'll find that there's a lot of stuff available that you can do. Take your email campaigns even further there. Also, keep in mind, MailChimp has literally hundreds of features. I will not be able to demonstrate all of them to you in the span of an hour and a half. What I am going to do is give you your training wheels. Like when you start learning to ride a cycle, you have training wheels, right? To just to get you started. And once you learn how to balance, the training wheels are there to teach you how to balance. Once you do that, then you can learn to do all kinds of things on a cycle on your own. Similarly, what I'm going to do for you today is show you the very basic features and get you started on some of them. After that, you will be able to take forward your own email campaigns on MailChimp a lot better by yourself. Okay. This is our objective for today. so that you have at least a basic knowledge and understanding of MailChimp. It doesn't seem very frightening. At the end of today, you should see how accessible it is. I'll also talk through email design types, and then we'll have a knowledge check based on MailChimp. So we'll start with a recap. The internet is a network of servers and routers. Servers are devices that perform specific functions on the internet. Each server performs only one kind of function. The two kinds of servers that are very important to email marketers are SMTP servers, or simple mail transfer protocol servers, whose job it is to send emails. And the other kind of servers that we need to know are mail servers, whose job it is to receive, organize, and store emails. Routers are devices that ensure that your request gets sent to the correct server and that the server responds to the request. The response is reached back to you. An IP address, or Internet Protocol address, is a unique string of numbers assigned to every single device by the Internet Service Provider. When the device disconnects from the internet, the IP address is taken back and reassigned to a different device connecting to the same internet service provider. The IP address is what the security measures of email are based on. These are some of the problematic actions on email. Spoofing is when the sender is pretending to be someone else. Phishing is when the sender is attempting to get some sensitive information from the recipient. This is the path that your email takes from your mailbox to the recipient's mailbox. It goes from your mail client to your router, which sends it on to the SMTP server, which sends it on to the mail server, which runs every single email through all these checks. The firewall checks to see that there are no viruses. The spam filter checks to see that there are no matching patterns of words and phrases with known spammers. The reputation check looks at your history as a sender. And the authentication check ensures that you are who you say you are and that your email has not been tampered during transit. Only if the email crosses all these is it allowed to go on to the router, which in turn sends it on to the mailbox, where there is one more spam filter which checks to see whether the email should get categorized in the spam folder or one of the other folders. If the email gets rejected by the mail server, it's set to bounce. The two types of bounces are called soft bounce and hard bounce. A soft bounce happens when your email is too large for the recipient mailbox, which means it has too many attachments, it's too heavy, or if the end recipient's mailbox is full, which means they have not checked their mail in a while and cleared the mail, or in a few rare cases, if their recipient's mail server is not working properly. A hard bounce happens when the recipient's email address has been typed in incorrectly, when the domain name is incorrect, if the email has a virus, which means it'll get caught by the firewall, or if the email has spam words or phrases, which means it'll get caught by the spam filter. Too many bounces and you could get put on a blacklist. When it comes to creating email content, the thumb rule is to keep it simple, short, and clear. You also want to make sure, in order to further your marketing objectives, that first of all, you know what your marketing objective is for your email. And secondly, make use of all the prime real estate areas on an email, such as your pre-header text, your preview pane, different fonts for design, and your call to action button. Which brings us to MailChimp. Are we all ready to get started with MailChimp? So I'd really like all of you to participate when I ask you to take certain actions, okay? All right, so also my suggestion is don't go and open MailChimp on your own right now, because you will miss out on some things that I'm going to show you. Stay with me and watch the demonstration, okay? So this is MailChimp. This is where you can access it. The link is this. When you go in here, you will find there is a sign up free option and there is a login. I'm not going to take you through the sign up free form because that's a very simple form. All you'll need to do is put in some details about yourself and an email address. It will send you a verification email to your email address. You will have to open that verification email and click on the link. And once you do that, you have access to the account. It's really very easy. I think you can do that on your own. What I'm going to do is go right ahead and log in and show you my account. This is my demo account. I only use this for demonstration for Digital Vidya webinars. What I'm going to do today is actually take you through some of the key features, and I will also be creating different kinds of emails. And if you want to receive those emails in your mailbox so you can see the email that we've created together, then I'll show you how to do that as well. Okay. So this is what your window looks like when you log in. Let's take a look. In the top left hand corner is the MailChimp monkey logo. This window is called your dashboard. At any point of time when you're within MailChimp, if you want to come back to this window, all you need to do is click on this monkey logo and it'll bring you right back here. There are several different menus available here, and I'm going to explain each of them. But before that, top right hand corner, you'll see there is a drop down. Right now it says DV Digital Vidya Ramya because that is the name of my account. I'm going to click on it and go into profile. This is the first thing I want all of you to do. Once you set up your MailChimp account, the first time you log in, go to the top right hand corner, click on that drop down menu and go to profile. Right here, you can upload a picture. You can change your username if you want to. This is what you use to log in. You can change it. You can change your password over here. You can change the name associated with your account. So I'm going to change this to Ramya Digital Vidya. You can change the associated email address and say update. So make sure your details are all in place. So here are the details. So Digital Vidya Ramya, owner, SMS email, so on and so forth. Now in India, we only have access to email notifications. So I'm going to click this, which means that if there's any kind of security issue, if MailChimp thinks that there's some security breach, it will mail me at this associated address. I can also click to get a notification every time there's a login. I've not chosen it. The second thing I want all of you to do is go into the same drop down menu and go to account. Account will show you what the status of your MailChimp account is. Right now, I have 196 subscribers in my database. The MailChimp free account allows me to build up to 2000 in my database. If I want any more, I'll need to pay for it. It also allows me to send out up to 2000 emails every month. So you can see right now it says 0 out of 12,000 because I haven't sent out any emails from this account starting January 1st. The minute I send out some emails, that will get counted. The maximum I can send out on a free account is 12,000 emails per year, and the maximum I can send out per month is 2,000 emails per month. Okay. I can upgrade this account to a paid account right here. I can also check what are some issues that have happened in the past. In addition to this, go into settings and you'll find there is an option called contact information. Now this is super important. You need to update this because if you don't, MailChimp will not send out your emails. It will allow you to create emails, but it will not send any of those emails. It will just tell you that there is a problem with your account and your account has been blocked. I know this from experience. Several other participants have also faced this as a problem. If your contact details are not updated, MailChimp will not let your mails go through. So you need to put in full contact details. Contact details include your contact name, your company name, a link, a website link. And if you don't have a website link, if you don't have a company website, you can always put in a blog URL. You can even put in your LinkedIn profile URL. You can put in your Twitter handle. You can put in your Facebook profile URL. Any one of them will do, but MailChimp needs one link associated with you. It also needs a real world address. So please don't try to get around this by saying something like Delhi, Delhi. It needs an actual email address, an actual full address and a phone number and an email address. You'll need to complete all of these because if you don't, MailChimp will not let your emails go through. So please make sure this is the first thing that you complete the minute you log into your account. Okay. I'm going to ignore this bit for a minute. We'll come back to this. Okay. So this is your contact information. You can also go into other things like, let's say you want to delete your account. You can go to pause or delete account. You can permanently delete it, and MailChimp will also let you take a backup of your data, which means your data will include your payment history, all the campaigns that you've sent out, all the mails you've sent out, the database that you have, everything. You can back it up at any point of time here. You can also add other users to your account, which means, let's say you're using MailChimp for your company campaigns. You might want to include your boss and the CEO of your company there. You can add them to this account. They will all be able to access it using their own logins. All you'll need to do is say invite a user. You put in their email address. Now, if someone is a viewer, they will only be able to see the performance of the emails. If someone is an author, they will be able to create emails as well, but not send it. They will need the administrator's approval. Who's the administrator? You're the administrator. If someone has manager, they will be able to send out campaigns without your emails, without your permission, but they cannot upgrade the accounts. They cannot add other users. And if someone else become admin, they can add users, they can upgrade the account, they can shut down the account, everything, all the things. So this is where you can add other users here. You just click on this, put in these details, I'm not a robot, and send invites. Okay, is everyone with me so far? So the things I've shown you is sign up, then update profile info, contact information, how to backup account data, and adding users. Okay, so these are as far as the account management goes. There's a bunch of other things which you can look at on your own. Your billing history, what are all the plans, all of those things. Under settings, there's a lot of other things. You can look at all of those on your own when it's time for you to do this on your own. Okay, now let's go back to the dashboard. I'm going to click on the MailChimp logo. Okay, so let's look at the different menus that there are here. There's something called campaigns. So MailChimp has its own naming system for things. A campaign in MailChimp is any emailer that you create. So a campaign is an emailer. Okay, a list is a database in MailChimp terminology. Okay, reports are the performance stats of the emailers. And I'll come into templates after we've done the next few steps. Okay, everyone with me so far? I'll keep stopping and asking just so I know you're all there. Okay, so give me 1 minute. I'm going to look at the list of all the things I want to teach you. Okay, so there I have it. So what is the first thing that I will need to do in order to send out a campaign, to be an email marketer? I need a database, right? Exactly. So let's go into lists. Under lists, you'll notice there are a bunch of things here. Each of these is a database. So MailChimp allows you to create multiple databases. It's not just one database. You can manage multiple different databases in MailChimp. What I'm going to do is create a brand new database. So I do this every time, every month when I have, with every new batch, when I do a MailChimp demo, I create a new database for them. Okay, so I'm going to create a new list. It's asking me, do you want to create a new list or do you just want to subdivide an existing list with groups? What do I want to do? I want to create a new list. How did I do that? I clicked on the create list button in the top right corner. So I'm going to say create lists. So list name, what am I going to call this? I'm going to call this DV Weekday January 17. That's all of you, right? You are the Digital Vidya Weekday batch of January 2017. My default from email address, that means remember the sender name and sender address. So by default, the email address from which the mails will go out will be digitalramya@gmail.com. My default from name is going to be DV Ramya. Okay. This is still the list I'm creating. So everyone on this list, by default, they will receive emails their emails that they receive will come from this address if I use this account to run it. And this is the default from name that they will see. I need to remind people how they signed up to the list. So I'm going to say, hi, you were part of the webinar demo of MailChimp by Digital Vidya in January 2017. And agreed to receive the demonstrated emailers. You will not receive any further communication from this account after this demonstration is over. Now you can see it's already picked up company, organization, address, so on. Where is it picking this up from? It's getting this from my contact information in the settings. At this stage, I can actually change this or even delete this. If I delete this, that means the people in my database will not be able to see my address and all of those, but MailChimp still has it on record. Can you see the difference? So I'm leaving New Delhi in there. And under that, there's notifications. So I want to know the minute someone subscribes to this database. I also want to know the minute someone unsubscribes from this database. Do I want a daily summary? No, I don't want that. I'm going to save this. Okay, so see, because I removed that, it's giving me a error. So MailChimp has upgraded some of its security settings. It's not letting me do that anymore. So I'm going to have to type in the whole address again. Let's see if this works. This is the Digital Vidya address. Okay, so they have a Bombay address as well. I'm going to put in the Bombay address. Now let's see if it saves. See what I did? In the settings, the contact information for this account is a Delhi address. But for this particular database, I have shared a different address. So you can do that. You might have a company that has different locations, headquarters in one city and other locations. Your marketing team may be based somewhere else. Your order fulfillment team may be based somewhere else. Each of them can create their own database and put the associated addresses accordingly there. So now our database has been created. Excellent. You have a brand new list, but the database is completely empty. How do we populate it? So there are 3 ways of populating your database. You want to know which are the 3 ways? So number 1 is when you go into this. How do you go into this, by the way? I'm going to go back to the dashboard. On the dashboard, I can go to lists. Under lists, see, you can now see DV Weekday Jan 17th with 0 subscribers has been created over here. I can either add someone from here or I can just click to go into this. It'll take me back to the same window where I have no subscribers. So the first thing I'm going to do is click on add subscribers and say add a subscriber. So the first method is, you'll see it opens up a form where I can manually put in someone's details. So method number 1 is to manually input details. So I need a volunteer whose details I can put in. If you would like to be part of this database, please share your email address in the chat window. Okay, thank you, Anindya. Anindya has shared his email address. So I'm going to copy this, paste it here. Okay, so only one volunteer. Dimple, you can be, so okay, only one. I'll give you all a chance to add your names to the database as well, okay? I'm going to show you how. Anindya. Anindya, what is your last name? Chattopadhyay. Okay. So, I guess I'm mispronouncing your name. Anindya, Anindya, is that correct? So I've filled in his details, first name, last name. Thank you. Now, remember opting in? Does everyone remember opting in? Remember in the orientation, I told you something? MailChimp is one of those providers that will not allow you to mail anyone who has not opted in. So, right here, because I'm putting this in manually, MailChimp is making me agree that this person has given me permission to mail them. After this, if they discover that this was incorrect, they can come back and said you lied, so we can shut down your account. So you will need to click this. MailChimp will not allow me to go further if I don't click this. I'm also going to say if this person is already on my list, update their profile and say subscribe. It's that simple, mission accomplished. I can go and view profile, and there's Anindya's profile right there. Profile was thus updated on this date. Sign up source was administrator added it. Time zone is GMT. Nothing has been sent, so there's no language detected yet. These are the details that Anindya's filled, right? I can further go into activity and a bunch of things, but there's no activity because I've not done anything with Anindya's contact yet. Okay. Now let's go back to, so right now you'll see there is a one over here which is clickable. I'm going to go back to this. This takes me to the list. You can see now this database has one subscriber, that's Anindya Chattopadhyay. There's something called a member rating, which I'll explain in a bit. Okay. Otherwise, the other details come by default, which is last changed and date added. Now, this is a database with 5 different fields, right? 5 pieces of information, of which, no, 6 fields, of which 3 pieces of information I have put in manually. So, your first method of adding to the database is by manual input. What's your second method? Let's go to add subscribers and say import subscribers. Import subscribers asks me where do you want to import subscribers from? Now, if I have an existing database already, I can export that from wherever it is and then pull that into this. I don't have to go and manually put in all those details. I can say CSV file, say next. In the next page, it'll allow me to upload it, pick it up from wherever on my desktop I have one. I don't have one such, but if I did, then I could pick it up from here. I'll have to click on this, say I understand this, and then say next and go on. And this is how it'll import an existing database into this. In next week's session, when I take you through Toolkit, I'll show you some ways to export databases. Okay? And once you've exported those, you can then import them into MailChimp right here. Make sense, everyone? So what's our second method? We now know 2 methods. First method is manual addition. The second method is import existing, right? Let's go back to the dashboard and back to lists and back to DV Weekday 17, which now has 1 subscriber. I'll show you the third option. The third option is something called a sign up form, which means that I can get subscribers to sign up. Okay. So MailChimp allows me to create sign up forms. Have all of you seen on websites you can sign up to receive newsletters, you can sign up to receive updates, notifications, so on and so forth? Have all of you seen things like that? Yeah. So this is exactly that, except MailChimp even allows you to design the form. So let's go ahead and do that. I clicked on sign up forms. There are lots of different kinds of forms available. I'm going to pick the first one, which is general forms. You can all explore these on your own later. So select general forms. Under this, MailChimp gives me the create form window. It gives me a number of options. Profile update email, update profile form. I'm just going to say sign up form, which is the first one. Let's go down. You'll see there is a basic sign up form that MailChimp has already created, which has the name of my list. The fields are email address, first name, last name, because these are the 3 things that I put in for Anindya, right? How can I change this? How can I add more to it? On the right hand side, there are a number of fields available. I can add any one of them. So let's say I want to add, address. So I just click on this. And right there, address has appeared on this, right? It also, address has appeared here. And you'll notice on the right hand side now, it has gone into the labels. So I can change what it says into calling it residential address. Don't touch the field tags. I'll explain what field tags is in a minute. Do I want to make this a compulsory field or do I want to leave it optional? I'm going to leave it optional. Default country name. I'm going to say India. And then I'm going to say save field. So now my form has email address, first name, last name, and residential address. And address has come twice because I clicked on it twice. How can I get rid of it? I'm going into the lower one. It's gotten highlighted in yellow. Under it, there is something that looks like a minus button and a plus button. If I click on plus, it will replicate this. So now you can see there are 3 address boxes. I want to get rid of it. I said, oh, that's a mistake. So let me go and click on the minus. It will say, are you sure you want to delete? Type in delete to confirm. So I'm typed in delete and say delete. Let's do that one more time because address has gotten repeated one more time. Click on it, make sure it's yellow. Click on the minus and click on delete. Okay, so let's add a few more fields. What else is there? Let's say I want to add date of birth. I click on this and date of birth gets added here. I click on this and I say I don't want it to be called birthday. I'm going to say date of birth in DDMM format. I'm going to change the format to DDMM and make sure this is a required field, which means you will not be able to proceed with the form without completing it. Save field. Now I say that all the required fields have to come at the top. How do I move this to the top? It's quite simple. I click on this and then I drag and drop it above here. That's it. So it's come above there. Simple. So you know now how to add a field, how to remove a field, and how to move around the fields, right? Let's go and add a few more fields. Let me go back to add a field. Let's say I want to add date of birth, phone. Let's say I want to give people an option to add their website. So I'm going to add website. Website, I'm not going to make it, I'm going to make it an optional field. So I'm just going to say save field. Then I'm going to say that this form is looking very, very long. So instead of address, can I just make do with people's cities? So let me add, I don't see a city option. I can just add a simple text field, which is untitled. So I click on this, go back, and I can change the title to city of residence and make this compulsory. And now I go back and remove the address block. So I click on this, click minus, delete. And now in what order? I want my city of residence to come up here. I'm going to change the website and say website if any. So the optional fields are all below. Is everyone with me so far? Does this look like a good form? No, it doesn't. It doesn't look like a very pretty form. So let's make it a little prettier. So right here, the name is DV Weekday Jan 17. And if I hover over it, these 3 buttons appear: edit, remove, and use image. So I'm going to click on edit. It allows me to go in here and edit this. I'm going to center align it. I'm going to change the font to Lucida. I'm going to make it way bigger by going into size and saying 24. I'm going to change the font color, make it a dark blue against a pale blue background, and save and close. See? So this has changed. I'm also going to add a little message over here at the top. So when I hover over it, it gives me the edit button. I'm going to say sign up with your full details if you would. No, this is the sign up form. Okay, let me not do that. I'll say enter your full details into this form and verify in the next window. This way you will receive the demonstrated emails in your own mailbox. There will be no further communication on this list after this webinar demo is over. Thank you. And let's make this a little nicer looking, change the font to Arial, make it a little bigger and make it dark blue. Okay, clear? So now this tells you what the form is about. Let's make it even prettier. Up here next to build it, there's an option that says design it, page, body, form, so on and so forth. So we are on page and it allows me to change the background. If I click on this, I can pick any other color I want. Let me make this a pale yellow. Okay. I can change the body of the form. It's in white currently. I can make this a blue. I can go back to build it and change the color of this to a dark blue so that it's all visible to you. Let me make it automatic. So does this form look better? So there's a bunch of other options under design it, which you can go in and look at. Okay. Now, how do I share this form with people? Up here under build it, MailChimp even gives me ways to share it. There is a URL here. If I want to share it on Facebook, if I want to put up this form on Facebook, I can click on this. It'll ask me to log into Facebook and share this to my Facebook account. Same thing with Twitter. If I have a mobile app, then I can share the QR code of this on my mobile app. But I'll keep this simple and just share this link only. What happens if I open this link? Here's the form. So what I'm going to do is share the link to the form. All of you who want to receive the email in your mailboxes, please fill in this form. You'll need to put in your email address, your first name, your last name, your date of birth, your city of residence, and your website, if any. Once you do that, you'll need to say subscribe to the list. In the next page, it'll say before we confirm subscribe you, we need to confirm you're human. You'll have to click on I am not a robot. Wait till it turns into a tick and say subscribe to list. Please take a minute, go and do this and come back and tell me when you're done. Okay. All right. So here's what I need you to do now. You have subscribed to this database, but you will need to verify that you have subscribed to this database. So what you'll need to do is the email address that you put into the form, go into the mailbox and check for the verification email. You might find it in your promotions folder or your spam folder even. Please go and look at all the folders and find the verification email. Let me go and do that as well. Right here, your verification email should look something like this. Okay, no, sorry, this is the password change email. Your verification email should, okay, apparently I haven't received it yet. I'm going to check my spam folder as well. Have all of you found your verification email? Check all your folders, please. I can tell how many of you have actually received it and clicked on it because see, it should look something like this. DV Weekday Jan 17, please confirm subscription. You don't even need to open the email. You can even just click on that button there if you're using Gmail and say confirm subscription. Once you do that, okay, you've gotten it. Only 4 people have confirmed so far. Let's see who these 4 are. Jyoti Sharma has, Amit Gupta has, Rajiv Gupta has, and Ranjana has. How about the others? Can you see I've gotten a notification of the new subscribers? Is there anyone who has not? Okay, so let me give it a, I'm going to refresh my mailbox. Okay, so all of these people have also gotten the verification emails. Let's run back to MailChimp and see what MailChimp is doing. Okay, this is where we left it, right? The sign up form. I'm going to come back to this to click on that one to view all the subscribers. And look at this. It has updated all your details. Please take a look at the database and see if there's anyone who finished the sign up form whose name is not visible. I can see Anindyo, which I entered, Ramya Pandian, which is the form I filled in, Amit Gupta, Pranav Jain, Ranjana Singh Rathod, Priyanka Chaudhary, Rajiv Gupta, Dimple Manjal, Mayank Datta, Pranav Shekhar, Maneet Swach, Sumit Kaul, Akash Saha, Dhwani Kotham D, Jyoti Sharma, Divij Vinod, and Ashish Masse. Is there anyone who filled in the form who is not seeing their name here? Okay, so I guess all of you did. So now you know 3 ways to populate your database. The third way being sign up forms. Do we have a database now? Let me refresh this. Let me go back to the MailChimp dashboard and click on lists. And now when I do, it has 17 subscribers. It has updated this to 17 subscribers. So my database, you'll notice, has also added on the fields. Every field that you put in your form becomes one, every question that you put in your form becomes one field in your database. Earlier, when I showed you with just Anindyo's email address, it only showed email address, first name, and last name, right? Now it's also showing date of birth, city of residence, and website, in addition to all these others. Member rating is something you'll understand better after we've sent out a few emails. But is everyone clear so far? All of you are with me? Okay, so let's get using this database and shall we design some emails? Let's go into campaigns. You'll also notice in my mailbox also I've gotten all the notifications of each of you, new subscriber, right? I've gone into campaigns, and under campaigns, all the past campaigns that I've sent out are there with a tick mark. Let's ignore all this and let's go and create a brand new campaign. There are several different kinds of campaigns that MailChimp lets you send. I'm going to start with the simplest first, which is a plain text campaign. I'm going to select this. A plain text campaign involves 4 steps. These 4 steps are all visible at the bottom. The first step is selecting the recipients. We are right now in step 1. At any point of time in the creation of this campaign, you just look down to see which step you're on and you can jump back to any of the previous steps from here. So recipients, who am I sending this to? I'm going to choose this. You'll see a list of all my databases in here. So who am I sending it to? I'm sending it to the database that we just created, which is DV Weekday Jan 17. I'm going to click on that. It asks me the entire list, a save pre-built segment, or group new segment. I'm going to say entire list, which means 19 recipients or everyone in your list will receive this email. Let's go ahead to the next step, which is setup. Let's set up the campaign. So what is this campaign going to be called? For within MailChimp, my campaign is going to be called DV Weekday Jan 17 plain text. My email subject line is going to be welcome to emailers via MailChimp. I can also use an emoji here. So I'm going to use an emoji and I'm going to pick a monkey because MailChimp's logo is a monkey. There are several different resources available, links, emoji support, all of these if I just hover over them. I can actually change the name. It's picking up from the default that I created on the list, which was DV Ramya. But for this particular campaign, I can change the sender name if I want to. I can call it anything, literally anything. I'm just calling it your digital Vidya trainer. Okay, this is not a good name, so I'm just going to call it Ramya/digital Vidya. From email address, I can change even this, but I'm going to go with this, stay with this. Under tracking, it will show you all the things that will get tracked once this account is sent out. Opens tracking is not available for plain text campaign. If I have a Google Analytics account, I can link that in here. I am going to click on ClickTail link tracking. I don't have an e-commerce site, but if I did, I would link that as well. I'm going to ignore the rest and just move on to the next step, which is creating the email. So let's click on plain text. Now the screen splits into two halves. On the left hand side is the default email that is there, which says enter your content here. I'm going to select this and delete it and start typing in my hello. Hello. No, okay. Hello. Welcome to the wonderful world of MailChimp. This is a fascinating tool to use for email marketers and for a lot of other digital activities. Start with a free account and experiment. Could also use your free account your doing your IP warming this month. Has a lot of contains several learning resources for keep mailing learning. Is this a good email? This is a plain simple email. I can actually check what this looks like before I send it out by going up and looking at preview email. Enter preview mode. So let's look at what this is going to look like. Hello, welcome to the wonderful world of MailChimp and blah, 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 so on and so forth. Now under that, it has picked up the welcome message that I put in the settings and it's giving a bunch of other stuff like contact details, which makes the email too long. So I'm going to come out of this and edit all that. So I don't need the list description, or maybe I'll leave that here. This is how you ended up receiving this email. I'm going to leave the unsubscribe option, but I'm going to remove the address, telephone number, forward this email, or update your. I'm going to leave the update profile in case one of you wants to change it. Now let's go and look at preview mode. This is how you ended up receiving the email. Hi, you were part of the webinar demo, so on and so forth. Okay. Unsubscribe here. Okay. Does this look fine? Yes, no? Yeah? So let's go ahead and send it. This is a really, really simple email that you can send using MailChimp. Fourth step is confirm, where it'll ask me, are you sure you want to deliver it to this MailChimp database? It has 20 recipients. You can also check who are these 20 recipients. Okay, so all these people, yes, that makes sense. Your subject line has to be this. Okay, I'm going to say, oops, I made a spelling mistake here. So I'm going to say edit. It'll take me back to the setup window and say, I'm going to say email campaigns via MailChimp. And once I've updated that, I'm going to jump to confirm. And now it has updated that. All replies will go to this email address. You chose to enable these tracking and it's a plain text email, right? So if everything looks all right, shall I hit send? Yes? Okay. So there I'm going to say send. Once again, preparing for launch, you are about to send now. And there, high five. So everybody go to your mailboxes and look for this email, everyone who signed up. You may have to look in multiple folders. In the meantime, I'm going to go back to my account and check where it is. In my account, it has come to the promotions folder. Can you see what this looks like? So the title is there with the emoji and there's the pre-header text, all of that. Everyone has received it. Try opening it. When you open it, you'll find there is the unsubscribe option, update your profile links, all of these. Try clicking on update your profile. Can you see? You can unsubscribe or update your profile here. Don't unsubscribe yet because we are going to create an even bigger campaign after this. But if you want to change any of these or you want to update your website, any of that, you can change it up here. Clear? Okay, so let's go back to MailChimp now. Incidentally, under this hi-fi window, there's also an option which says view or share it at. I'm going to open this link and give you the link. Please click on this link and Vishwajit, please check all your folders, including your spam folder and promotions folder. Everyone, please click on the link and tell me what you see on the link. Exactly. This is so remember view online. So MailChimp gives you that automatically. And this can be shared very easily. You can share it here on any of the platforms that you use, Twitter, Facebook, QR code, all of those. Okay. Now let's go back to the dashboard. Shall we create a more complex campaign? A bigger, better campaign? So let's go into campaigns. You can see now this has joined the ranks of past campaigns. DV Weekday Jan 17 plain text, right? 20 subscribers. I'll come back to this in a minute. I'm going to say create campaign and this time I'm going to select the regular campaign. That's okay as long as you've got it. You can check it later, Pranav, Vishwajit. I'm going to select regular campaign. A regular campaign, unlike the plain text, has 5 options because a regular campaign allows you to do a lot more things. The first step is still recipients. So I'm going to go in and choose DV Weekday Jan 17. This time, shall I target it to a certain audience only? How do I do that? I don't have any save pre-built segments, but I can create a new one. So group or new segments. Under that, conditions. Subscribers who match. Let's say I'm going to say these are all the fields available. Subscribers who match. So I'm going to say city of residence is Delhi. City of residence is Mumbai. Okay. And once I do this, I'm going to update recipient count and it says 8 recipients match these conditions. I'm going to click on these. Who are these 8? So these are the 8 people who have said Mumbai or Delhi under city of residence. So if I only wanted to send it to people in Mumbai or Delhi, I can do that by creating a segment here. I can add further things. Let's say I want to send it to people in Mumbai and Delhi whose birthdays are, let's say, whose month is January. Sorry, this was put in numbers, right? So I have to say 01. 9 recipients now. So one more person has gotten added who was not there earlier, whose birthday is in January. Clear? I think that's Dhwani. Yeah? So this is how you can target your emails further when you're building your database, when you're sending out your campaigns. This you can do for plain text, regular, any of them. Clear so far? Yes, because I've said subscribers have to match any of these. Well spotted. If I said all of these, then it would only send it to people who are in Delhi, Mumbai, and whose date of birth was that. See, now when I've said all, then it says 0. Let's remove one of these and say update recipient count 0. So there's no one in Delhi whose birthday is in January. Got it? But never mind all this. I'm going to send it to all of you. I just wanted to show you how it could be done. So I'm going to go back to entire list. Go to the next step, which is setup. Campaign name, I'm going to call this DV Weekday Jan 17 regular. Email subject line. Now on the right hand side, you may find there is a personalize the to field. Remember something called merge tags I told you? Every single field in your database has a certain merge tag. This merge tag is like a code of that field. So when you want to personalize your email with any field from your database, let's say if you want to send out an email telling people, hello, so and so. Like I want to say, when Rajiv receives the email, his email should say, hello, Rajiv. Akash receives the email, his email should say, hello, Akash. You can do all that using the merge tag. All of you remember the unsubscribe link? All of those have also gotten picked up from different merge tags from my account details. So I'm going to just say personalize the to field. The merge tag for to is fname, which is first name. I'm going to copy this. What am I going to do with it? Under email subject line, I'm going to paste it and say, have you met the blue monkey? What am I doing? I'm personalizing the subject line here. I'm also going to add a blue monkey. Well, there's no blue monkey emoji, so instead I'm going to add a monkey of some sort. From name is going to be Ramya / Digital Vidya. From email address is the same. Now you'll notice track opens is already enabled here because regular emails allow you to track this. I'm going to just click on all of these because I want to capture all the stats possible. And then I'm going to go into the third step, which is template. Template is whatever is the layout of your email. MailChimp gives you a number of different layouts available here. So let's look at each one. Let's just click on any one of them. It'll show me what an email in this layout will look like. So this is 1:3:1. Don't worry if it takes a little time. MailChimp is a rather heavy software, so sometimes the website is a little slow. This is only a sample. I haven't actually selected it yet, and at any point of time, I can change it. Okay, loading. It's loaded it. So in this layout, there will be an image, there will be some text, there'll be 3 images, there'll be 3 buttons under them, there'll be some more text and buttons and so on and so forth. Do I want this? No, this looks very complicated. I'm going to come out of this. I'm going to look around at all the others. So there are several different ones. You can go and test out all of them. Let me choose one. You can also modify them at any point of time. So don't worry, the layout is only your starting bit. You can change it at any point of time. I'm going to select one column. And now on the left hand side, it's going to give me the layout. On the right hand side, it gives me the toolkit. So what does this layout mean? The layout is broken down into different boxes, which when I hover over them, you can see they are different boxes. Can you see that? Each box is a widget. And these boxes can be moved around, changed, added to, edited. How do I do that? Let's pick this box. A widget is So a widget is like an app. Never mind the word widget, okay? It's called a widget. A widget is something that does something, is a tool that does something. It's a little tool that does something. And there are some more widgets you can add over here. Okay, widgets are components of this email. So see, this is an image widget, this is a text widget, this has various sharing buttons widget, this is another text widget. I can add a lot more from here. Let's first look at what makes up a widget. When I hover over a widget, there's one gray header that appears and there are some things that appear right on top. The first thing on the left hand side is these 9 buttons which allow me to drag and drop. So I can change the order if I want to. I can move it to below if I want to. So now the image widget has gone down. I can bring it back up here if I want to. Okay. The second option is a pen, which if I click on, allows me to edit. I'm just going to say save and close. Anytime I want to, I can just click on this and this will change and it will allow me to edit. I'll come back to this. What if I just want to repeat whatever is there in this? I click on the plus. So the plus option allows me to copy and create one more just like it. What if I say, oops, I don't want two of this. I just hit the trash can. It says, are you sure you want to delete it? Delete it. Clear? So I can drag or drop, I can edit, I can copy, and I can delete. Now let's look at how I can edit each one. The topmost widget says use this area to offer a short preview of your email's content. How many people remember pre-header text? You all remember pre-header text? This is where you get to change your pre-header text. So I'm going to edit this, which means on this side it opens this up. There's column 1 and column 2. Column 1 gives me use this area to offer a short preview. That's what is there here. Column 2 gives me view this email in your browser. I'm going to go back to column 1 and delete this and say the MailChimp monkey says hello. And under that, well, I'm going to make it into a square. Okay. I'm also going to make this blue in color so it's eye-catching. And the font is going to be Helvetica. And I should make it a little bigger. Okay, so that's my pre-header text. Maybe this is a little too big for pre-header text, so I'm going to make it 15. Clear? So that's my pre-header text. I've edited it. Now let's add to the other content blocks. I'm going to edit this. This one is an image block. When I click on edit, it opens this up on the right hand side. I'm going to say browse and upload. So I'm just going to upload something new here. When I do that, it allows me to pick up from my desktop, my computer, anywhere. Or if I've already added something, I can just pick it up from there. It's already stored. So I can pick this up and say select and it pulls it in right into this. Okay. So there's an image. Let's go into editing this text block. I'm going to change the headline. I'm going to say and I'm going to delete. I'm going to add to this. Okay. Let's say let me save this. Let me just save it as it is. I've changed the headline. Let's say I want to change the formatting. The monkey has been expecting you. I want it to center align and I want it to be in that same bright blue. And I want to add some more things to it. This looks very mundane. So I'm going to add some more text. Shall I do that? So here's a text block and I can pull that and drag and drop it here. And it opens up here. I'm going to change this and say, here are the proposed steps to get started on MailChimp. Do I want it to be in the form of a list? Yes. So number 1, update your contact details and profile info. Number 2, add users with different levels of access. Number 3, populate your database. Number 4, create campaigns and send. Track reports and revise. Now, this is what the list is going to look like. I don't like the list being middle aligned, so I'm going to left align it. They also look very small, so I'm going to change the font size. The list, I'm going to change the size to 18. Now, this doesn't look very nice. So I'm going to change the font to Meriwether and make it 16 instead. I'm going to say this doesn't look very nice. So I'm just going to put it into 2 blocks and say getting started. And this, I'm going to make it the style, I'm going to make it a headline in blue. Everything is in Meriwether. Meriwether Sans 16, right? 15. I'll make it 15. The second text block, I'm going to edit it and say, instead of get started, I'm going to say create a database list. Manually enter contacts, import your existing database, create. See what I'm doing? Then I'm going to say, oh, I want this to stand out a little differently. So the get started, I go back into it. If I go into style and settings, style, let's say style, I can change the font over here. I can change the color of the box if I want to. Let's make it a pale green or a pale blue. Okay, it's updated the font. Instead, I want to go back there. I can change the spacing. It's still not updated it. Can you see the bullet points are now better spaced out? Okay, what else can I add? Let me add some more pictures. And let's add multiple pictures. So I'm going to pick this up and put it here. This allows me to add 2 images, 3 if I want to. So browse. Let me pick up this picture. And on the right hand side, let me pick up this picture. Looks good? No, they are different sizes. I can put this, let's say I want to put the mustache picture on the left. All I do is drag this and drop it like this. And it'll jump left to right. I'm going to push it back there. I also want to edit the pictures. So let me go into edit for the girly picture. And when I say edit, it gives me all these options. I can resize it, make it 180 times 180 and apply. It's made it smaller. I'm going to say save. Is it smaller? Yes, it is. Save and close. Now I want something to separate these two. Here's a divider. Let me see what that looks like. So the divider is simply a line. I can make it a much thicker line in a different color. MailChimp blue. And let's say I'll make this 5px. I want to put a separator like this everywhere, so I'm going to add and then drag and drop it up there. What else can I do? Let me go and look at these buttons here, these logos. What do they do? When I click on them, so they let me share Twitter, Facebook, and website. I can add another service, email. I can change this to something else. Let's say Google Plus. And I can also put in the handle. So twitter.com/Facebook. I don't want Facebook there, so I can just delete this. Website can be www.mailchimp.com. Instead of Google Plus, this can be website. So one more website. Let's make it digitalvidya.com. Let's say I want to change the order. I'm going to go to digitalvidya.com, drag and drop it up right on top. So now there'll be a website, the Twitter handle, and then website again. Clear? Under that, there's yet another copyright, current year, list company, all this. Let me just save and close this. But what is this missing? What is this email missing? It's missing something super important, isn't it? Is it, or is it not missing something super important? No, the unsubscribe link is right here. Exactly, the call to action button. So I'm going to come out of this and put in a button. Right here is the button option. So I'm going to drag and drop it. And what shall I call the call to action button? MailChimp Now. And the website is going to be www. So it's going to link, the landing page is going to be a web address. It can also be an email address or a file. I'm going to make it a web address, mailchimp.com. I want this call to action to look different. I go back here. Let's say the now has to be in capitals. I can change the color of the button. When I go into style, I can go in here and change the color, but let's keep the color, shall we? It seems like a nice MailChimp color. I can also make it left aligned, so the button goes to the left, right aligned, but I think center is the best. I can make it much bigger by saying full width. Save and close. Is this good? No. I'm going to say I need this call to action button to come up here. And I'm going to make it a fit to text so that it's visible. Also, remember what I said, your call to action button should be visible wherever on the email your reader is. When they scroll till here, they can't see it again. So I'm just going to go and copy it and then drag and drop the copy to under this. Is this better? So it's the same button, it's appearing twice. Clear? Yeah? Now let's take a look at what this looks like. Under preview and test, you'll see there are a number of other options. There's also something that says send test mail. If you want to send it to, let's say, your boss or someone, you can send it to them as a test with an instruction saying, hi, please check if this is fine and approve it. And say send test. Okay. When I go to my mailbox, I'll find the email there. It'll probably have come to. Give it some time. Sometimes it takes a little while to come through. Okay, while we are waiting, there it's come. Test first name, have you met the blue monkey? Now this is what it looks like to me because this was only a test message. Otherwise it'll come with the person's name. Here's the pre-header text. display images below, and the message is there, and under that there is all of this. So let's go back to this and let's preview it. When I preview it, you'll notice, so there's a lot of stuff here. Let me go and delete that first. So in the last box, the copyright bit is not needed. Our mailing address is not needed. Want to change, that's needed. I'm going to remove the rewards as well. This is much neater. Let's go and look at preview mode now. Is this better? You will also notice there's something that says mobile and inbox. So when I click on mobile, this is what it'll look like on a mobile phone. Remember, I told you mobile has changed the way we are doing things. On desktop, you'll see how it looks like on a desktop. Clear? If I click on this, this will show me what the email will actually look like to each recipient. So Akash is the first recipient. In his mailbox, he'll see it as Akash to this email address. From Ramya Digital Vidya. I can keep clicking through until I see each person's email address. Okay, I've still not sent it out. Are we ready to send it out? There are a lot of other things you can do, lot of other buttons. Each of these does something. You can add to, delete whatever is there, all of these. So let's say confirm. So this goes to 20 recipients. This is the subject line. All replies go here. Tracking. Okay, what's social cards? Social cards, if I enable, lets you pick which of the images will show in an excerpt if this is shared on Facebook or LinkedIn. So which of these do I want? This one. And the title has to be Welcome to MailChimp. Ready Reckoner to get started with. So these are additional features that MailChimp allows you. So this is what an excerpt will look like if this link gets shared on email, on Facebook or LinkedIn. Are we ready to send? I just hit send. Send now. So here's what I want all of you to do. I want all of you to open the email and click on at least 2 of the links in the email and come back and tell me when you're done. You don't have to tell me which email, which links, but I want you to click on at least 2 of the emails, 2 of the links, and come back and tell me when you're done. Has everyone received the email? So you'll have to open it and mark it as not spam a few times, Ranjana. That has to do with how Gmail treats the mail server. I've received the mail in my mailbox. I want all of you to click on at least 2 of the links. Done? Please come back when you're done. Okay. Now this is all great. We know how to design fancy emails, right? And here's the web link as well. So this is fantastic. All of us know how to design these. How do we know the stats? How well have these 2 emails that we sent out done? We go into this menu that says reports. Okay. So let's go into reports and check how the 2 email campaigns that we sent out have done. The first one was the plain text. So I'm going to go into plain text. Plain text does not track too many stats because it's plain text. It's supposed to be quick and easy. But what it definitely does track is successful deliveries. So it says successful deliveries 100%, 20 successful deliveries. When I click in the reports, it will also show me under activity bounced. If I clicked on bounced, it says 0 bounces, 0 soft bounces, 0 hard bounces. So remember deliverability. This is how you can check whether your emails have bounced or not, which ones bounced, which ones didn't. Clear? Yes, no? Okay, let's go and look at a different report. Let's go and look at the regular. Regular gives you a lot more stats, exciting stats. So 20 recipients it was sent to. First, let's go and check successful deliveries 20. So all 20 of them got delivered. None of these emails bounced. Let's go to the top again. It says open rate is this and the industry average is 17.2. Before we get into open rate, what is it basing the industry average on? Right now it says social networks and online communities. If I click on this, it takes me back to my account settings. Under my account settings, under details, I have defined my industry as social networks and online communities, which I'm going to change. And I'm going to make this software and web applications. How many people in your organization? 101 to 150. How old is the organization? 3 to 5 years. I would like to receive a confirmation when the campaign is sent, and I'm going to say save. Now, how does this change things? Let's go back to reports and look at DV weekdays Jan 17 regular. You'll notice that, okay, so it's not updated the industry average yet. Okay, it takes a little while to update this, but this industry average picks up based on what you have put in as your industry. Okay, and I've shown you how to change it. Sometimes it takes a little while to update it, but you can do that. I wanted to show you that. Let's go and look at open rate. So this is just an overview of my report. I can go into activity. Let's look at the opens first. These are all the people who have opened my emails. Ashish, Nitin, Dimple, Divij, and a number of others have opened it twice. Manith has only opened it once. Let's look at Pranav. If I click on this, it'll show me that Pranav opened it at 9:18, then he opened it one more time. He clicked on MailChimp and then he clicked on inspiration.mailchimp.com at 9:19. I can get a similar report for clicks. These are all the people who clicked on something. Let's look at Mayank. Mayank clicked at 9:18, clicked on MailChimp.com. At 9:18, he opened it. Let's go back to overview. At an overall level, it tells me there's been a 70% open rate. I'm going to click on that number again, and it shows me who are all the people who comprise this 70%. Let's go back. 70% click, 75% click rate, and 75% open rate, 75% click rate. It shows me the click performance. So the maximum number of clicks have been on MailChimp.com. 6 clicks have been on inspiration.mailchimp. 1 click has been on twitter.com/ideasmithy. Remember, I put in the call to action buttons twice. How do I know which button got more clicks? Though both of them led to the same link. I can even check that. If I click on this 18, first of all, it'll show me who are the people who clicked on MailChimp.com. It's all these people who clicked once each on MailChimp.com. Let me go back one. So this is my click performance. If I go to click map gives me a picture of the email and it shows me where the clicks came. So you can see 21.4% of all clicks came on this link, 10.7 on this, 39.3% came on this button, whereas only 17.9% came on this button. So let's check who are those 17.9% of this database who clicked on the second button. If I click on it, it shows me Amit Gupta, Priyanka Chaudhary, Sumit Kaul, Divij Vinod, and Nitin Chavan clicked on the lower button, whereas Rajiv Gupta, Amit Gupta, Pranav Jain, Ranjana Singh Rathod, Dimple, Mayank, Akash Dhwani, Divij, Ashish, and Nitin clicked on the upper button. Can you see how much is visible to you? Great, right? Let's look at a few more things. Under overview, you'll also see 24-hour performance over time. So now I had all of you go and open your emails. But when you actually send out as an email marketer, different people will open it at different times, click on it at different times, go back. And over time, you get your 24-hour performance. You get a quick summary of top links, subscribers with the most opens, the locations from where, the servers from where at least these mails were opened. There's a lot more available. I think you can all go in and explore those on your own. But is this a good start? You now know how to track all the key metrics and also how to ensure every aspect of your email is getting covered, how to see which is the best parts, which parts of your email are performing best, right? Are we clear on these? Yeah? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come back to the presentation. Quick recap of what all we did. Opened account, completed user profile, built lists, set up campaigns, designed emails, tracked reports. Here's an additional piece of information for you to read. We are already at 9:25. So what I'm going to do is the mobile design option I'm going to talk to you on Thursday. Shall we go straight into the Q&A and the knowledge check? Or would you prefer to stay back late and talk about mobile email designs? I can also take this to Thursday and do this on Thursday. What is your preference? Knowledge check? Okay. So we'll go into knowledge check. Okay. Are we ready for feedback? So please leave feedback and come back for the knowledge check and the Q&A. We'll wrap up by 9:30. Okay. We'll try and wrap up by 9:30. This clock is a little fast, by the way. So please click on the link and leave feedback about today's session. Yes, that's the correct link. Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you, Pranav, Nisha, Akash, Dimple. Thank you. Let's just wait until everyone finishes. So Priyanka wants to be able to design emails herself. So Priyanka, have you had a look at the assignment? Okay, so you know that you're going to be doing that, and the DV team will give you feedback on it as well. Okay. So now that you've been through this session, hopefully things are a lot clearer. You also have the video of the session that you can always go back and reference. Okay, should we go ahead? Has everyone completed the form? Okay,